hurting another person, human being or, like that, you want to screw an inanimate object. Why not? I mean, it's masturbation with help. I mean, it's perfectly ordinary to want to do that. Becoming emotionally attached to something, always with the other ones, but it's just masturbation on a instead of it's like besides having a difference between a smart car and a Tesla.
Okay. You just reminded me of something that I have got to bring up. Oh my gosh. Okay, have you seen the Netflix original series Black Mirror or heard of it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's like a modern day Twilight Zone.
Okay,
only on steroids. Steroids.
That would not be something that even pops up in the. If you like this, you like this thing. That's not going to happen on my.
Okay,
on my
well, it's
Netflix
not like it's really the common theme that goes through a lot of these is how freaky technology can make life. And there's 2 episodes. One of them, I can't. It's in the 2nd season. The woman's husband tragically dies in a car accident and she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of hers signs her up for an app that culls all of his social media and video and everything else, mimics the voice and the types of things that he would say. So of course she gets obsessed with talking on the phone to this thing, which is really not him, but it's software. Okay. Then the next level is they make basically a robot that looks exactly like him, and they show it getting delivered and the story of what she does with this thing. Once she gets the thing that looks exactly like her husband, they have sex and everything else, but there's of course a twist. These are in most cases, and then there's another one about cheating. I mean, there's a lot of stuff about real human things complicated by technology. So it's pretty interesting. And if you haven't checked it out, because we stumbled upon it, Colleen is pretty good. I can get you the specific, because I know you don't like violence and shooting and stuff like that. You might like these 2 episodes. Yeah. Well, actually, there's another one that's pretty good too. I like this show.
You can flip through the little 20-word synopsis and go.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm telling you, the writing is freaking amazing. My only criticism of it is I do think a couple of the episodes are too long. Like they spend too much time on certain things, but whatever. I'm going to say that this is the British equivalent of Costco. It's called Tesco. Because this is what the story makes me imagine. Okay. Or even a large big box grocery store, okay? It's a big common place. Yeah. You know how the Brits are about their tea and cakes, right? Mm-hmm. So this chick named Lisa Sheehan was going to buy tea cakes, and she went and picked one up in a box, and when she looked closely, it had in it, like, so before it was baked, the baker put, "I want your sex," put a naughty message in the tea cake, and as it turns out, after the bakery manager investigated, it was perpetrated by an employee on his last day, and it made it all the way to the shelf. And so there's this whole big scandal about a pornographic tea cake. Which doesn't that just sound a riot?
Yeah. The fact that it got all the way through quality, whatever the quality control of that is pretty damn funny. And actually, I don't know if I would have complained. I think I would have giggled like crazy. I don't know if I would have eaten it because I
would have bought it.
Yeah, I would have purchased the damn thing. I'll tell you that
for sure. And Facebooked it.
Yeah.
Look what I got.
That would have been perfectly fine. But my first thought was, someone get fired. Some last day. This
was a disgruntled ex-employee.
Yeah, my brain went right there. I said, "Oh yeah."
Well, you're a boss. Of course, it did.
That's not getting.
Of course, you did.
That's not getting consumed. It's going to get giggled over, but not consumed,
and possibly frozen for posterity. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. New York Post. I don't know if this story is about a book or a documentary being made. It's one or the other. I couldn't discern it because the stories were really, really, really long.
Okay.
But if you want to read about former President Barack Obama's life before Michelle, there's been a chronicle of it. And it doesn't sound like a smear job. It sounds like what he went through as a half black, half white guy with a single mother. Then he gets into the dating world. It's called Rising Star, The Making of Barack Obama.
I think I read the review on this one in which it gets into it in more detail than you think you would want to know. I mean, the whole election and presidency and even the Senate stuff takes it's almost like the epilogue of the book.
Oh,
I mean, if you were if we're talking about the same thing,
it's a very personal story.
And I don't think it was authorized, but I believe it was really well researched to the point where they found a girlfriend that he dated for 2 weeks. I mean, so I think you really would have to pick and choose as you went through it.
Yeah,
but I bet I bet it's interesting because when folks get to some places, I know a lot of folks are interested in how you got there. I mean, I enjoy a good like a Shelley Winters biography. That was a hoot and a half.
Was it?
Oh God,
really good.
Oh, really, really good.
Okay, I would probably like that.
Yeah, she had a lot of fun. They just couldn't. She had as much fun as the guys back then, but she just wasn't allowed to, talk about it.
Yeah,
but she talked about it in the book.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So I know that he's a lot of people are raving fans of the former president. So if this floats your boat, you can check it out. Rising Star: The Making of Barack Obama. A link to that story is going to be put up on our Facebook page. What do you think the most popular location for public sex is?
Your own, the local park on the spinning wheel thing.
You know what? You're almost not fun anymore.
Seriously?
It's not the spinny thing, but it's the park.
Oh, okay. I figured it would be.
See, I can't surprise you ever.
Oh, I think I listened to too much Wait, Don't Tell Me. I just come up with the weirdest shit I can find and then it ends up being right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a local park. And then the next was the beach, which I'm sorry, that's boring. I mean, I would think that they would have to give you some more exotic locales. Public bathrooms. Ew. Ew.
No, I don't want to have sex in my own bathroom.
No.
Much less some, no.
No, it's cold.
Yeah.
Hard surfaces. Not fun.
No.
Car parks or garages, so like a parking garage?
Well, that's just, people can't get to where they're just too damn horny to get to wherever else they have something that's more comfortable.
And I'm surprised that
but with the amount of cameras that are in garages, I can't, it's just the amount of cameras that are anywhere. The idea of public sex is really going to be public if it's not already.
Well, I'm surprised that this last one here didn't rank higher at their office. I would think a lot of people would find that just irresistible.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be irresistible, but I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't particularly, I'm like, sex is a hell of a lot of fun. If I'm sitting at my office and I'm working and then I think, hey, you know what I did here 2 nights ago? I'm not going to get anything done.
Yep.
I'm like, no, there are just certain places I do not want to have a sex memory.
Yep.
Just because nothing else will happen.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay.
Other people are different. Maybe folks, going through there. And especially if you have an open plan office. I mean, how the hell do you do that?
I'm trying to think if I've ever done that at work.
think.
I feel like I have, but I can't place. I do. I mean, I'm not kidding. I mean, it was a long time ago, obviously, but I really feel like that's probably fairly plausible for me.
I remember when I worked in the restaurant, you're like, someone would say, I wouldn't go in the employee changing room right now. And it would just, and you're like, so you figure someone was either selling pot or getting two things right out. I'm like, whatever.
Okay.
I'll just stay out of there.
Yep. That's hilarious. Okay. We've talked about this before and Megan was here and this is perfect. I mean, she's in a relationship now, but the dating app called Hater. Do you remember this? It matches people based on stuff they hate versus which we both got a huge giggle out of. So they did a survey about men who can't get dates, and they looked through, and the most commonly swiped men were shown in pictures wearing cargo shorts. And so they're saying that it's a style that's unappealing to women, and that could be part of your problem. And then the next list of least desirable things were guys that were into things like anime, Pokemon Go, and Windows OS. Okay.
The cargo short thing, I think, went across my Facebook feed, which of course made most of my guy friends just fall over laughing because many of them are happily married and own cargo shorts.
Oh,
so we were trying to figure that one out because it made no sense. I mean, pockets are good. In fact, I wish my pants had more pockets.
yeah. Well, you know what? I was just...
I mean, especially since many of my friends also own utility-kilts, which means I've got a lot of pockets on that.
Utility-kilts?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a kilt that has a lot of pockets in it.
Like a real kilt?
Well, yeah, it's made out of canvas. It's not made out of like...
Oh, it's like something that you wear when you're doing house, like building stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kilt, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking Scottish guys with bagpipe kind of kilt. No.
No, yeah. I mean, it's still a kilt. It's just not a plaid one that, most of them come in, I think, black canvas or khaki canvas or something like that. I'm sure utilitykilt.com's out there.
Okay.
I know folks who own them.
All right. Mm-hmm. That's funny. So we've got a top 10 list that goes with this. I love this. Love these. Okay. So the top 10 most unattractive qualities in men according to women. Number 1. Do you want to venture a guess? Because you're on a roll today.
Bad dental hygiene.
No, but that's a really good one. I don't even think it made the list. Number 1, leaving women to pay for the entire bill.
Well, if she asked you out, I mean, if it depends.
Do you think that the person that asked should pay?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, for the whole thing.
For the whole thing, especially when you go through, unless, of course, someone says, hey, you want to go out and, grab a meal, I mean, it has to be discussed beforehand.
Okay.
I mean, no, you ask, you pay.
Okay.
at least on the first date or two. And then by that time, if you decide that that you like each other enough, yeah, you need to find out where you are money-wise. Otherwise, there's no point going on any further.
Right. Number 2, talking about religion. I think that has to come up at some point, doesn't it? You got to know where everybody...
Well, is there a time frame on this?
No.
Oh, okay. You're not talking... okay, like I'm leaning over like I can see your computer and discern anything. But
right, that's hilarious.
Jack. I guess it would... Number 2?
Number 2. Number 3 was opting for a date raving at a nightclub.
Oh, you can't talk. It's almost as bad as,
See, that to me is high. Okay, too high. But number 4, making no special effort to get ready for a date. That kind of goes to your dental hygiene thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 5, talking about politics.
Well, I would assume at this point that if you're online, that a lot of this stuff is sort of out there,
disclosed.
So if you're blathering on about it, it could be a bit much. Maybe that's what
Maybe that. Yeah.
I'm looking at my brain versus current brain, brain and stuff like that.
For sure. Number 6, wanting to go home together at the end of the date. So too fast.
I know plenty of women that are perfectly fine doing that. I think that's a little outdated.
7, talking about the weather. Well, if it's raining or there's a storm coming, it's like, come on. I mean, hey,
What the hell else are you supposed to talk about? Okay, if you can't talk about politics, religion, or the weather, what the fuck are you supposed to talk about on a date? Because if I have to admit, if someone whips out their camera and takes a damn picture of their food, their asses are out.
Yeah. Number 8, spending most of the day getting ready for the date. So the opposite of making no special effort is making too much effort, being too pretty. I actually knew a guy. He was actually a business associate of mine years ago who took longer to get ready to go. We'd have an appointment and I'd go and I'd wait for him. I'm like, are you serious? Like, Sal, come on, let's go.
No, I happen to know quite a few men that probably use more product in a year than I've used my entire life.
Okay.
But I don't think I think they've got a routine now that, they're older. So it works out okay.
It's when it becomes invasive or something.
Yeah, but then again, once again, almost all of them are very happily married. So I'm sure their wives appreciate it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the last 2 are living in a shared house, which I think that's a little mean. Number 10, living with your parents. What do you think?
Okay. Plenty of folks live with their parents because the economic realities of today mean that you can be working 3 or 4 part-time jobs or an internship and you're screwed. So you got an age-related thing here, and I think that's horribly, I know, and then, it's perfectly fine depending on what's going on. Now, there would be times when that would be inappropriate. At one point, you have to, move out on your own. But if you're not economically viable to do that, there's no problem with that. And it's shared housing, the same thing.
Shared housing is like, come on, man.
I mean, why not? I mean, what if someone would rather, there's not quite, career